Welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. My name is Beloved, and on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. As usual, y'all, I'm so excited to share with y'all our special feature today, which is titled Princess Cut. And here's what this film is about. Carolina farm girl Grace dreams of the day Mr. Right would give her a princess cut diamond and promise to love her forever. When things don't go to plan with her boyfriend Steve, she decides to go on a quest to find true love. Friends, this is very such a sweet film, I have to tell you, and does come with a very impactful message. All right, y'all, it goes deeper than a princess cut. It just goes deeper than anything that you can possibly imagine, because this film will be relevant 10-20 years from now, y'all. You can find this film streaming right now on Pureflix. Here we meet Grace. Grace is like many young women who, especially around that college age, when you dream of, and I think this is not just, well, it is that age, but it's for any single woman out there who does have a dream one day of finding or being found by the right man that God has for her. I mean, many women have that dream. That is, you know, the goal a lot of times. And a lot of times, I'm sure many of you out there kind of experience this, if you've been around long enough, that you went about it the wrong way. And we get to see here Grace does go about it the wrong way, and we get to see how she navigates that path with her parents guiding her, her mother and, well, her dad and her mom right there alongside her along this journey, trying to teach her the things of God and what is God's true plan for her. Yes, marriage is a beautiful thing, but it can also be a horrible thing if you end up going about it the wrong way and get involved with a person that is not on the same page as you, that is not equally yoked, and that is not equally yoked, and that does not have the right intentions for you. And Grace does dabble in this a little bit. I like that it doesn't go so far as it being so totally destructive and it just really ruins her innocence. So that was a real blessing to see that that didn't happen like that. But it was also really good to see that it was so real and it was so realistic, because a lot of single women out there can relate to this, whether young, middle, or whatever you consider yourself. If you're a single woman who does desire to be found by the right man that God has for you, you are going to appreciate this film. You're going to enjoy this film. And I encourage you to watch this film, especially before you make any, you know, life-changing decisions as in being found by a spouse. You know, I would encourage you to watch this film, because it does really opens our eyes, because we can be so impatient a lot of times and just want what we want, and could really be deceived, you know, by the enemy if he sends you somebody that appears to be what you want, but underneath it all has really terrible intentions for you, don't really want the things of God, that is not really of God. And we get to see this in this film with what Grace does experience. So I want to encourage you all out there to please watch this film, especially if you are a single woman who does desire to be found by, you know, the man that God has for you. Please watch this film, because when you're in the midst of something, especially if you're in the midst of something that is not God's best for you, it is very difficult to see exactly what is really there, because you're in the midst of it and you want what you want, and you can be so distracted by your desires. And Grace does experience this in this film as well. However, it is so much easier to see things when you're on the outside of things. And that's what I really appreciate about films, because it does help us, give us a glimpse from the outside so we can see clearly, because our emotions are not as involved. We're not as connected as if the thing is really happening to us in that very moment. So we can take a step back and be like, okay, I can see what God is trying to say here. I can see why God tell us to, you know, wait. I can see why God can say in a multitude of counselors there is safety, and all these different things that God does remind us. And he does have a way of going about doing, he wants us to go about doing things when it does involve getting into relationships. There's a reason why he has these boundaries set up for our protection, for our safety, to protect our innocence and our faith and our love for him. And we want someone alongside of us who really really does believe in God, who can lead, who can guide, who does hear the voice of God, someone we can count on, who we can be submissive to, because we know that that person is being submissive to God. So we're not going to be far from him. And this film is so impactful. I appreciate it on so many different bases, on so many different levels. I appreciate it. I love the characters here. I adore Grace because you can so relate to her, you know, wanting what she wants, and at the same time, you know, putting her wants and her desires aside to really open her eyes and take the time and really be like, what's more important? Is it, you know, what you want, or is it what God wants? And can you have the strength and the courage to really be still and hear his voice and really allow him to guide you every step of the way with whatever you're desiring from him, really waiting on God and allowing him to give you that peace and giving you that assurance and the okay to know when to step forward and who to invite in your life and who's, you know, to keep out of your life, right? So this film goes so deeper than I can just really ever describe in this really short review, but it is streaming on PureFlix, and once again it is titled Princess Cut. Y'all watch it, ladies, okay? Watch this before you make any big moves, all right? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close us out. Until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.